Hydro Flasks have these new and rather sexy Trail Series bottles, which are 25% lighter than the original Hydro Flask, but meant to work just as well. So today I wanted to do an ice test comparing this 32 ounce Hydro Flask that I bought myself, the spearmint color, to this 32 ounce Trail Series that Hydro Flask was kind enough to send me. They've also sent me 24 ounce, which is now my favorite water bottle. I just think it's the sexiest one out there. And we've also got a 20 ounce food container that they sent me as well. So we're going to test these, but really the big test is between these two. We want to see if the Trail can hold ice as long as the original Hydro Flask, or if it doesn't, what is the difference between them. At the same time, we're going to be testing out the Clean Canteen 20 ounce filled with ice. We've got an 18 ounce Yeti, we've got an 18 ounce thermos here, and we've got a 12 ounce Hydro Flask here as well, just to see how they all go. I'm really excited for this ice test. If you saw my previous one comparing a real Hydro Flask to a fake one, you know, this will go for about 3 days. So I'll be back in 4 to 6 hours to give you an update. Here we are at the 6 hour mark. Now I don't expect there to be huge differences between these two yet. It'll be as we get down to the 3-day mark, we start to see which one's the winner. If we have a look at these two, we can see, they look almost identical. Maybe the Trail's even performing better, which will be very interesting to see over the course of this test. Because I would expect this one, it's heavier. This one's 25% lighter. I would think this was going to work better. But so far, we're not really seeing that. Food Flask, still holding ice really well at 6 hours. So is the 24 ounce Trail version there. Then we've got our Clean Canteen, Yeti, thermos, and our small 12 ounce Hydro Flask, all still doing really well at the 6 hour mark. So I'll be back probably in another 6 hours to check on them again. It has now been 15 and a half hours since we started this test. I've taken all the lids off. Let's have a look and see if there's any difference showing between the Trail and the regular Hydro Flask. If we have a look here, we can see not a lot of difference at all. So much ice still left in the regular one, and so much ice still left in the Trail. If anything, again, I think the Trail might be outperforming it, but I'm not sure if that's just the height of it making things look a bit different. If we have a look at the 24 ounce Trail, we can see that's still doing really well at 15 and a half hours. Compare that to the 20 ounce food jar, and we can see that there's quite a lot of water in there. But again, given the height of this, it's hard to tell how these two are comparing to each other. I guess we'll see in another 12 hours or so, or once the ice starts to completely melt. If we have a look at the Clean Canteen, that one's going strong. Yeti has had quite a fair amount of ice melt actually compared to the Clean Canteen, but this is a little bit bigger. The thermos, that's had quite a lot of ice melt as well. We'll have better lighting tomorrow during the day. And if we look at the 12 ounce, we can see that quite a lot of water in this one. This one's the smallest, so I definitely expect this one to run out of ice first. But yeah, really cool results. It's really interesting watching these two. Obviously, extremely close performance between the Trail and the regular one, which is what I was hoping to see. But we'll keep this going and see which one wins. Do you think it'll be the regular Hydro Flask, or do you think it'll be the Trail? Let us know now in the comment section down below, and keep watching the video to see if you're right. So it's now been a full 24 hours or 1 day since we started this ice test. Let's go ahead and check if one of these is performing better than the other. If we look at the Trail Series, we can see still a lot of ice left in there. Same with the original type Hydro Flask, so still can't tell a winner. These will go at least another day, 2 days in this weather, which is around 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 to 24 degrees Celsius. If we look at the 20 ounce, we can see in the food canister that the ice is almost nearly completely gone. But if we have a look at the 24 ounce Trail, there's still a lot of ice left in there. So this shows that the bottles perform better than the food canisters, likely just because this big opening would let in so much more heat. If we go down to the other brands, we can see Clean Canteen 20 ounce still has a good amount of ice in there. If we look at the Yeti, we can see that's starting to run thin on ice, mostly full of water. So that one's an 18 ounce versus 20. If we look at the thermos, difficult to see in this lighting, but that is also a lot full of water, but still quite a decent amount of ice left in there. It'll be interesting to see which ones of these perform better because they are the same capacity. And if we look at the last little one, we can see, okay, the 12-ounce Hydro Flask only has a tiny bit of ice left in there. That one's nearly done. A couple more hours and that will be all water completely. So that is the 1-day update. Still not sure which one's better, but basically it looks like exactly the same performance so far. We'll keep it going and see how it goes. It's now been 1.5 days, so let's go ahead and have a look and compare how these are performing. If we look at the trail one, we can see still a fair bit of ice, maybe halfway full of ice. And then if we look at the regular Hydro Flask, we can see a decent amount of ice in there as well. Still too hard to tell. I actually do think that the trail is winning at this point, but only by a slight margin. If we go ahead and look at the 24-ounce trail, we can see that that's still got a decent amount of ice left in there. Compare that to the 20-ounce food canister, and we can see that that has completely run out of ice. It's now been 2 full days since we started the test, and last time we thought maybe the trail was winning ahead of the regular one. Let's go ahead at this 2-day mark and have a look. If we look at the trail, oh my gosh, we can see I actually left the paper in there. I did not know that. That was a bit silly of me. But, okay, a lot of ice still left in there on the 2-day mark. If we look at this one, maybe a bit more ice in the regular one at the moment, actually. Now, I realize putting the paper in there could have actually meant there was less ice in this one than in this one, but what are we going to do? We're 2 days in. It's too late to change now. Look at the 24-ounce trail. We can see at 2 days that's still got a little bit of ice left, which is really cool. We already know that the food flask is completely out of ice, as was the 12-ounce. Clean canteen, we can see that that's still got a fair bit of ice left in it. Maybe slightly outperforming this one, I would say. Yeah, I think the clean canteen is holding more ice than the 24-ounce trail. If we look at the Yeti, as well as if we look at the thermos, those are 18 ounce. They're both out of ice, and the temperature is, around 12 degrees Celsius in those, or 57 degrees, 55 degrees Fahrenheit. 2 days in, we're still neck and neck. We're still going to leave these a little bit longer to see how they go. Should I take out the paper? Oh, I don't know. Okay, I'll be back a bit later today to check again. It's now been 2 days and 10 hours, so nearly 2.5 days. We're down to just the 3 contenders. Can we tell yet which one's going to win out of this one, which is the Hydro Flask Trail? Still a little bit of ice left in there, and the pamphlet that I forgot to take out, as well as the original Hydro Flask. Oh, this is close, right? Okay, look, we got that much ice. Let's try and make note of it and remember. Geez, it's basically identical. Still down to the wire. It's going to be down to the wire to the final moments, which I'll check again in the morning. And this is a surprising contender. This is the clean canteen, but this one's only 20 ounces. And so this is actually 12 ounces less than these two, but it's keeping ice just as long. The 20 ounce Hydro Flask it was 24 ounce, is now out of action, out of ice. Clean canteen is still going strong. So I'll be back in the morning. I suspect them to be all out of ice, but we'll be able to go ahead and check the temperatures and see which one's still the coldest in the morning, and that's when we'll get our final result. We're now at the 3-day mark, and we have finished this ice test. None of these have any ice left in them that I can see at all. So what we're going to do is measure the temperature and see which one has the lowest temperature. Starting with a clean canteen, we're at 44.7 degrees Fahrenheit, or around 7 degrees Celsius. So still pretty cold and still fine to drink. With the Hydro Flask Trail, we're looking at about 8.2 degrees Celsius or 47 degrees Fahrenheit. And with the regular Hydro Flask, we're looking around 48 degrees Fahrenheit, 8.9 degrees Celsius. So maybe the slightest of difference there, but really I could not call it. Surprisingly, these two performed exactly the same. The Hydro Flask Trail Series performed exactly the same as the regular Hydro Flask Series. Same size, but this one's 25% lighter, and in my opinion, it's a little bit sexier as well. The big surprise was the clean canteen, which came home and is still actually colder than these two. So actually won the ice test where I, wasn't even thinking it was a contender. So that's really cool. I'll link up to these products down below, as well as every product that has been in this ice test. If you want to check any of them out, go ahead and check it out. Thanks so much for tuning in. This has been a lot of fun to do, and the result that these are exactly the same, I absolutely did not expect. Go ahead, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more product tests like this, and go ahead and check out one of the other ice tests that I've done on a bunch of other products. Thanks so much for tuning in, and until next time, stay cool.